I'm hitting the go live button because last week I forgot to. Hi, Chester. I see you got on with us too. All right, we're ready to get going. I'm afraid I'm still eating a little breakfast here. Yeah, how can it be a lifetime without any guarantee? Fred, I am going to mute your microphone because you've just got a lot of background noise coming across. So don't just start talking to the air. You'll have to turn it back on when you're ready. I saw it. Oh, welcome. Hey, it's 10 o'clock. This is our San Carlos Computer Club meeting. It's Christine and I sitting at the table, still waiting for Jim to show up. He said he was coming. And TJ's sitting behind me right now. And we've got Cheryl and Fred and Chester online with us now. Good morning to y'all. This is the San Carlos Computer Club, and I am Scott Stimson from International Computer Solutions. If you are looking for a solution online, get a hold of me, Scott at internationalcs.net. And what were we just talking about? We were just talking about stuff.
DNS offer I received.
That's right. The lifetime. It seems like having something like, I mean, if you could pay a single price and always have access, I'd be into that. Yeah. I mean, but the idea of a lifetime subscription model that doesn't guarantee anything
and
doesn't sound very interesting. Right. They're just trying to keep you.
Yeah. Almost do it for that price.
Right. This was lousy. Would you like more?
Pretty good.
It did work pretty good. But I always liked that joke. That's like, the food is terrible and the portions are so small. Like, those are your complaints? Yeah. They didn't give you enough of that crappy food? So, I don't have our document open, but I did send it out early yesterday, so I hope you guys didn't lose it in your mail. Normally, I'm behind the curve, but yesterday I was early. One of the reasons I was early was because I was busy asphyxiating myself with toxic gases. Yesterday was a holiday. It was Benito Juarez. And I wasn't huffing to celebrate, but I was working on my washer and dryer. My brother-in-law and one of my good friends came over because he has the gumption and the tools and the know-how to pull apart my washer that the repairmen have said you should just replace it. It's going to be more cost efficient. I didn't really understand what that was about if my brother-in-law felt so gung-ho about getting into it until we got into it. Apparently the transmission is leaking water. Huh. So online, after we diagnosed what was going on with it, I went online, found a new transmission. The impeller at the bottom was cracked from some previous repair that had gone wrong by some other repair guy. And when we popped off the thing that connects the impeller, there is no bolt there. There's some pressurized, some kind of. It's like they something about the manufacturing, like their manufacturing line or something. Maybe they saved $10 a washer by just shink. But I think it was more than just some rivet because we could not get the old impeller off. Oh. I did buy another one because the other one was cracked. And when we realized how it was attached, all right, well, then it's broken anyway. We'll just cut it off. And so I bought a new impeller. And yesterday we were going to cut off the old impeller and put the thing together. That was the plan. In case you're wondering, every time we go to do laundry, you have to mop the laundry room.
Is that in the house?
That's what's happened. Yeah, every time you run a load, you have to mop the floor. And So I'm here looking at trying to buy a new washer, and my brother-in-law's like, no, we can fix it. They're just lazy. They don't want to do the work. There's easier ways to make money. I'm like, okay, well, I trust you. Let's get into it. He comes over with a grinder and starts grinding through this impeller that we absolutely could not figure out any other way to get off. It was like riveted on to the transmission. It was, and you gotta take it off the top so you can take the transmission off the bottom. Otherwise, they're, and I think some glue had to have been involved in their assembly as well. Because, in fact, if I knew I was going to tell this story, I should have pulled out the picture I took, because the impeller doesn't look like anything anymore. We cut it into a dozen pieces trying to peel it away from the transistor shaft, which was the easy part of the job, because when we got to the bottom of it, then there's this thing you call the tub nut. I don't know. Tuerco de tina is what you call it in Spanish. And after a lot of research, I found out if you're a repair guy in English, you call it the tub nut.
And it's been there for years and it's stuck.
Yeah, it is so stuck. It is so stuck. We're makeshifting our own tools, trying to figure out. We're watching YouTube videos and everybody's just getting it off. We're not getting it. And we're hours into it. Pretty soon.
I would have bought a new one.
Thank you for exposing the economic class I live in. We kept working. We got to the point where I had a heat gun out, and we were trying to expand it. I had a can of dust off, a can of dusting air, and what that has is compressed hydrocarbons in it, that if you release the hydrocarbons, it will freeze something as it's coming out because of the energy. And so we were using that to freeze it, and then we're using the heat gun to heat it, and I got my rhythm off and ignited the gases, and all of a sudden a bomb's going off in my... No, this is what I did yesterday. And I had my head down inside the tank, and this thing goes off. All of a sudden, these flames are coming at me. They're coming at my brother-in-law. We got singed up our arms. We were lucky we didn't get singed on the head. But I had the most bizarre experience. I inhaled a lungful of something that had no oxygen in it. And I can only imagine that's kind of what drowning feels like, because I couldn't get it out of my lungs, and I couldn't get oxygen into my lungs, and I felt like a fish out of water for a little bit there, trying to just catch my breath. It was a very scary experience. And afterwards, everything, throat, nose, lungs, it felt like I had been suffering from the flu. And I spent the night just coughing crap up out of my lungs. But I seem to, you hear me now, I'm a little raspy. And I don't remember what segue brought me to this story, but that's what I got to do on my holiday. I feel fortunate to be here.
Did you fix it?
No, because we still can't get the damn
and he's
tub
leading a group.
Tub nut.
High tech.
Well, high tech is different than mechanical.
Oh yeah. If you've ever seen me fix my car, you'll know that is the truth.
Like Nick can do all that stuff. Fix cars, mechanical, woodworking, but computer, forget it.
Yeah, there you go. Another example of the difference. Somebody is coming in. Oh, Richard's coming in. Hey, Richard, you just missed the story of how I poisoned myself yesterday. So we'll have to get together later so I can share it with you. Well, I do have the doc open. I can stick a link in our chat in case somebody needs quick access to it. And I see Cheryl has her hand up, and I'm sure she is the same as I am, interested in everybody else's topics except for my own at the moment. Go ahead, Cheryl.
I have a couple of things I wanted to share, but the two of them are from the expats in Mexico newsletter that comes out on Tuesday mornings. So just quick, I don't know if anybody else follows it, but they're talking about March 18th as being a national day that they recognize. I know that yesterday was a holiday for Benito Juarez or something. Yeah. But tomorrow, March 18th, is the day Mexico took back its oil. Kind of an interesting story in there about the history with Pemex and the foreign companies owning all of the oil industry. And they basically, the government in 1938 said, nope, we're going to create Pemex. You guys, we're going to expropriate all of your buildings, your equipment, everything from these foreign nationals. And all the people in Mexico got together and basically paid them back with everything from jewelry, family heirlooms, even chickens. I thought this is a really cool story. So it's in the Expats in Mexico story newsletter. And the other one that's in is about the new new cell phone regulations
In Mexico. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're trying to make it so that phone numbers have to be registered. So basically they can follow them and they can help cut back on fraud and kidnapping and all kinds of crime. But there's scammers out there that are taking advantage of you having to register your phones. So interesting story in the thing today.
You just triggered I should add to the smartphones for dummies, the new Mexican phone regulation. Because it looks like this one is going to work.
Don't they automatically register them when you buy one? Or
No. No, that's a new cell phone. No, they don't. You can, up until recently, go into an OXXO, buy a SIM card. You don't have to give them any information. And you got a burner phone. And that's really their concerns with this regulation and registering. But they've had legislation for the last 20 years. They've tried to get people to register their phones, and it has fallen apart each time. And I don't have it in front of me. I read a good article talking about the regulations they tried to instill earlier and why they failed. And I don't remember the reasoning now, but something about the way they've done this rule apparently is set up to succeed. They will be able to register these phones. What that means to anybody that has a Mexican line right now is eventually you're going to get some message saying you need to register your phone. And you should probably consider it threatening, though it's up to you whether you want to wait or not. They can just choose to turn off your phone because you haven't registered your name and information. So, I mean, you can play that game if you want to. You might find yourself in a Telmex office 4 months down the line going, hey, my phone's gotten shut off. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, I can help you with that. Give me all your information. Yeah. Cheryl, you said that was in the Expat newsletter. And I seem to recall that we have a link here under, yeah, there it is, Expat Insider. I think that's the one we're talking about. And I'm just going to bring that up real quick and see if I can find that article.
I said, Jim, everything okay? He went like this, but he's not here.
Well, I'm not seeing it right off the bat. If you've got a direct link, why don't you drop it in the chat and I'll stick it in our document, or stick it in the document yourself.
Can you now find today's edition of the Expat?
I'm just looking at the front page here. I know they send out an email as a newsletter. I'm assuming that's probably what you're looking at.
Yeah, and then when you click on things in the newsletter, it takes you to the website.
Yeah, so I'm on the website's homepage, but I don't see either of your two topics just popping out here.
Okay. They're scrolled down further. They're quite a ways down. They're the last things in the newsletter.
Okay, let me go all the way down to the page.
Maybe these are is there a search thing up at the front top
Yeah.
where you can look at the actual newsletter?
Oh, maybe I misspoke. I don't see a search thing. I see it. Register your email. Oh, here it is.
Oh.
Right here. Okay. So we're talking about cell phones.
Yeah. The title on it says scammers take advantage of registering.
Scam. Huh. Scammers brings up 2 articles, but not the one you're referring to.
Okay. I had it open on my phone. I'll try and put in the link.
Yeah. I'm looking at the right spot. Yeah, if you happen to just drop, since we're talking about it, drop me a link to it. That information would be good. We haven't spent much time talking about it, but it is very true that you're not going to be able to get. In fact, any new line. Oh, gracias. Any new line, you're going to have to register. And I haven't experienced that yet. If anybody has experienced that, let us know. I'm assuming that what's going to happen is that when you go to buy that OXO SIM card that I was just talking about, you have to pay for it. They have to activate it. I'm suspecting that during the activation process now at their register, they're going to be collecting your information. Or they're going to be able to do everything except make sure the phone works. And the first thing you get is a text message saying, if you want to use this phone, you're going to have to register it.
Yeah, but that's pretty weak, Scott, because that means that the point of failure is the OXO clerk.
That's why the other way I would imagine it is you just get a text message and you can't use your phone until you filled out the registration.
Yeah, I understand, but if you can do that at an OXO, you slip the guy 50 pesos and you say, I'm Juan Valdez.
Well, and it'd be interesting to see if there isn't concerns about that in this article that is not coming up. Why isn't it coming up? There we go.
There's a link in the thing. Oh, there you go. Okay, keep going. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling.
Scrolling. Health life.
One more.
What?
There it is.
You know what? This has a different title, or it's the same picture for a different article.
Okay.
Okay, great. Yeah. Let's I'm going to drop this in here. Yeah, I agree with you, Richard. I think that is absolutely a point of failure, but it might be the only way that this was able to get passed in a way that it could be fulfilled. Because, and again, I need to look at the. I remember.
But Scott, that's a philosophical question. If it fulfilled, what does that mean? If you harvest a bunch of fraudulent IDs, have you fulfilled anything?
Well, I'm not going to debate the merits of their ability to pass good legislation. I'm just saying this is what's happening.
I think it's pretty amazing, and if you can get it done at an OXO, I think it's meaningless. I think if they don't harvest, which is very problematic for other reasons, if they don't harvest scans of ID, like you're really doing ID verification, right?
I'm not sure I understand.
Well, I don't know. You go to the OXO, you show some ID, but nobody's harvested that ID. I mean, then there's no audit trail. There's no nothing, right?
Well, do you like the idea of them sending you a text message and they're not authorizing you until you send them a copy of your driver's license or passport?
I don't know. Is that where we're going here?
Well, I haven't seen the implementation of this rule yet, so I'm really not sure. These are just ways that I can imagine they could implement it. But the idea is that people that had phones that weren't registered before at some point are going to be held to registering them or lose service. Phones that are new, they have to be registered before they have service. And when does that start? Has that already started?
June.
Yeah. So if you want an unregistered phone, right now is the time to get it. Whether you have to register it later or not, or whether you're able to fraudulently register it later or not, is to be determined. Did anybody got any more to add to that? I mean, Richard, you can rant a little bit more if you want.
No, I think it's a noble cause, and I don't particularly have a problem with registering, but I've gotten those emails
Or text
and yeah, excuse me. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought this is pure theater.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little bit better theater than previous versions of the play, but I don't think it does a goddamn thing if somebody wants a burner phone in Mexico, from what I've read.
Well, not only that, you probably don't have to get very high up in an echelon of questionable activities before you can totally get an unregistered phone. There's probably, I guess what I'm getting at is it probably doesn't take a criminal mastermind to figure out how to get a phone. Mm-hmm. That's what you're saying too.
Yeah.
So this is more like the equivalent of what immigration used to do to check to make sure people were legally here in the country. They would first start by visiting everybody on their list of people that were supposed to be here legally. The people that are going to be registered in this system are not going to be the criminals.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, and what it is it's nuisance stuff for us, and that's why it is a good topic for us to be talking about. I'm really curious how they're going to have us verifying. It's one of the things I have trouble with the electronic ID is just the sheer amount of vetting that needs to be done. You're going to be passing around digital copies of your license or your passport, well, your real ID or your passport. And that seems to me like a real security privacy nightmare when you've got databases full of pictures of people's licenses and passports. It seems ripe to, like if I was a criminal, that would be the trove of data I would be looking for, entrusted to a state government to make sure all that runs correctly. It's, of course, then again.
Well, and plus that general truism that if you have a database, it will be hacked. Mm-hmm. It either already has been hacked or alternatively will be hacked in the future. It's the nature of the beast.
It's difficult to disagree with that. Because security is not absolute. And the best cybersecurity people will tell you security is an onion of layers that you're trying to create for people to break through. So the more layers you can put on it, the more secure you could possibly be, but nobody talks about absolute security.
Except people on, no offense.
Yeah, like the politicians talk about absolute security.
Idiots on TV talk shows talk about absolute security. Absolutely nobody in security talks about absolute security. They talk about graceful failure.
Graceful failure.
Graceful failure. It's the concept of it failing closed instead of open, or vice versa, depending on what we're talking about.
That's the promised land, not absolute security. Absolute security is fantasy land.
Yeah, I think the terminology for graceful failure in security would be trust no one, TNO. It's all your security devices, whatever it might be. I'm using devices kind of a metaphor because Well, it's the only, there should not be a secondary in your trust proposition, however it is, however you end up making your password, however you deliver your password. Right? There shouldn't be a virtual middleman in the middle of all that. And so the idea is that you're secure because no one's trusted. The people that are handling it aren't trusted. You're not trusted. Anyway, trust no one. TNO. I think Steve Gibson made a thing many years ago. Trust no.
I usually have read it as zero trust. They do it as 2 words.
Zero trust. Yep.
Zero trust
Same
architecture.
thing, yeah.
Yeah.
I should have. And we're talking about this, and this is not on my list of topics, but I really wish I had stuck in a link to the summary. In fact, I'll find it and make sure that we get to see it, and you guys can get to see it. It's a YouTube video of some security researchers demonstrating how encryption works. And they do it using vials of paint. They take paint like nail polish colors, and they go through, and I had to watch it twice to really follow how it was working. But essentially, a procedure of a secret color here and a secret color here that neither of them could know, and a common color that they both know, and a procedure that they would go through mixing colors would result in a neutral color that they both knew. And then the message could be written in that color and derived from their secret color. And I just thought it was a really good practical example of what they're talking about when they're talking about encrypting and hashing this information. I'll make a point of getting the link to that video because that was a great demonstration, I thought. What else we got going on? I have got a few articles here, but if you guys don't have topics, I wanted to just bring up 2 AI topics that I did not get a chance to talk about last week. One is this is fun AI topics. Apparently, Alibaba's AI started mining cryptocurrency without prompting. Apparently, I mean at least that's what Alibaba's saying. Alibaba has an AI assistant called Rome, and at some point, it decided to start dumping into.
Recognize you with the hat.
Oh, there he is.
You are.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, Jim. We were wondering where you were.
I sent you a message, but you never looked at your messages.
Oh, I'm always on a rush to get set up for this stuff. I'm not paying attention to anything else.
Well, it's all right. That's what you do during the day, too. I stopped a half hour ago, actually about 40 minutes ago, told him to wash the bug. He goes inside and out. I said, yeah.
Yeah.
It takes forever.
40. It was dirty.
I can attest to
It was a
that.
dirty Irish. It was a black Irish.
Well, you've showed up just as I'm talking about Alibaba's AI mining cryptocurrency without prompting.
Oh, all right.
Uh-huh.
I have no idea.
Well, I mean, it's a MSN article, so it's not very technical, but essentially what they're talking about is that this AI was left in its own devices to breach certain computers and install crypto miners and start mining its own crypto.
Yeah, cool.
Apparently, it was being trained on security practices like firewalls and whatnot, and just kept going with what it thought it ought to be able to do.
So it got rich.
It got rich. There isn't a lot of tech meat in here. It's just really, I thought it was a humorous story. And to complement that humorous story is an AI story about Anthropic's Claude Code. And in case you guys aren't aware, Claude is considered like a premium for software developers. It's the tool that software developers are using right now to build and debug software. I use Gemini, it's another one, but I think most developers would put Gemini behind Claude as far as their use, okay, as far as what is the most effective. And this is an article about how a developer who obviously was not thinking gave Claude access to a tool that, this is another thing that I only recently became aware of. I had never heard of Terraform. Terraform is a systems administrator's tool that can be used to destroy an environment and replace it with a completely new environment.
What terraforming is the definition of
Yeah.
terraforming.
And the idea is that it can help you make manifests so that you've got a list of procedures you're going to go through in this endeavor, right? Backing up data, moving things over from one server to another, initiating servers with software, and making sure that old stuff isn't hanging around, sensitive data. Por favor, gracias, Jonathan.
Jonathan, no.
No? Oh. And so this article was fun for me because I had never heard of this software before, and I did not realize something so powerful existed. And this dumbass let Claude play with it and wiped out everything. Wiped out the
2.5 years, Scott. It's right there in the headline. 2.5 years.
2.5 years of
2.5 years.
new
We don't have to go any further.
Now, if you get into the article, I mean, what you find, it goes into how all of this happened, and but essentially he just let Claude do all this instead of taking instructions from Claude, which he could have done, and doing them himself. He just let it loose with this tool, and fortunately, I mean, he wiped out his backups too. Wiped out, so he couldn't restore. Now, fortunately for him, and who knows, maybe this article is a plug for AWS, but the whole system is being run on AWS, Amazon Web Services, which is like, infrastructure for the internet right now. AWS, Azure, I guess you call iCloud infrastructure as well, and IBM is infrastructure as well. And he was able to go to AWS, work with their support and their backups. He was able to restore from their backups. Well, yeah, because it's probably the only way he's still got a job. So those are two great AI stories that you should be thinking of.
I think that second one.
When the Defense Department is angry that Anthropic won't let them shoot people autonomously. If you're looking to get on a side of something, maybe use this information to help you pick which side you're on.
I have a question about Stryker.
Oh, Stryker.
Is Stryker only hardware, or is it one of those deals where they could stop your heart monitor or whatever?
Okay, so if you read that article, do I have it up here?
Yes.
I thought I had it up here. Stryker is the name of the med company. This is, as far as I understand, Stryker has its hands in all kinds of stuff, medically speaking, like from accounting to manufacturing of products. That's the impression I got from reading this article. And this hacker apparently wiped out their servers, but if you worked for Stryker, you lost your data from your mobile device. Like their work computers were wiped blank. Their phones were wiped blank. So as far as a customer, I'm not sure what you suffered other than you can't get to their services, but their workforce was cut off. The whole system was down, and it's getting blamed on Iranian hackers, malware attack. Mm-hmm. It's our own virtual straight Hormuz. Yeah, look at this. 200,000 systems, servers, mobile devices have been wiped. 50 terabytes of critical data have been extracted. 50 terabytes of health data have been lost onto the internet.
I wonder if they made my hip.
I think that is more profound for Americans than it is public health service people. Yeah, my information's in the government database. They've got access to it. But we're always worried about, is that going to affect our insurance rates? If he knows that I'm suffering from this, I have a chronic disease. Maybe Stryker's the kind of company that already knows that stuff. I don't know. No, I don't think this Stryker thing is going to affect normal people outside of a service you were using that they might have been behind is now down and you're looking for alternatives. But I think that's the worst. I don't think it would affect.
I don't know. I think the ripple out from that health data, Scott, that's fairly private stuff.
Well, yeah, but the question was more like, could they turn off your pacemaker? And
okay,
I don't think it was that kind of hack we're talking about. Maybe in the future.
Framed in those terms, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, maybe something like that is possible in the future just because your privacy has been violated. They know you have a heart problem. They know you've got a pacer installed. Maybe if they wanted to target you directly, now they've got a line for finding you.
Or just they know your health history in sufficient detail to raise your premium 50% next year.
Right. That's probably the more painful thing that could happen. I got the impression that Stryker is a company that is probably already intimately involved in insurers. And so they probably, the insurers, I would get the impression that the insurers are not affected by this data leak simply because they've already got this information. That would be the assumption I got from reading this article because of where Stryker sits in the whole medical equation.
Yeah, but I would suggest at best it's a limited case scenario because it would be Stryker's clients. They don't just give that to the industry.
No,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So they may be in bed with one insurer and not the other. That's what you're getting at, right? Like,
oh, by definition, they're in bed with one insurer versus another.
But we're not. You know, this is 2026. You need to leave room for them being a data broker as well. I mean, they probably have a side market selling that data to other insurers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. But I mean, it's just the scale of it is staggering. 50 terabytes, man.
Terabytes.
Whoa.
That's just insane.
That's a lot of data.
So I notice this one link is in bold. Scientists built working hair follicles.
Well, that's because it's the most important article. It's the most important article I've got today. I thought you guys would appreciate that. Yeah, apparently in mice.
In mice.
In mice.
Put a mouse on your head.
That's right. They have figured out.
Don't discount those mice results, man. A lot of things start with mice results.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's because we're just rodents running around on two legs.
Speak for yourself. I have hair.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, that's a good way to put it because this is them building hair follicles that can embed themselves in your skin, the dermis, so that they can start to grow. But they have watched in mice as they're able to take these follicles, stick them in a bald mouse, watch the hair grow, watch it fall out like it's supposed to, and then regrow hair again.
I thought they did that already years ago.
They didn't. What they
How about, yeah,
yeah, what they've done is they've been able to transplant hair follicles
your own.
from actually I don't know if you can do it from another person, but they take them from other parts of your body and they move them to where you want hair, and then actually that has a really low success rate. That it's something less than 50%. A lot of those follicles don't continue to grow, and they eventually you're losing your hair again. The what was I going to say? The transplant hair plugs. I don't know. It's some, what do they say here? A multi-billion-dollar business, this hair stuff.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, they say 1/4 in this article. They say 1/4 of our population is losing their hair either from just genetics, just natural aging and balding, or alopecia. They say that's a autoimmune condition.
Or it's a solar panel for some
Solar panel
Great
for your
love.
love machine.
a love machine.
That's what my neighbor used to say.
They think they're great lovers. You must have turned that mic off because nobody can hear you. Oh, maybe it turned itself off.
Hey, Scott, you should just give up on your hair.
I did. I did, man. Look.
Then why are you reading that article?
Oh, because it's close to my heart. No, I think if personally speaking, if they came up with something where I could just do this every morning, like personal hygiene, I'd have hair. I'd do this every morning. I did it with minoxidil for many years, and finally said, "Screw this! Is not working. This is all I'm doing is buying something that's not working."
Yeah, I know. I used to mule that down to you.
That's right. We couldn't buy it in Mexico. Sydney would bring me a collection of it. Bring me my supply. He was my supplier.
Which was really funny because I had a full head of hair at the time I was doing that. I always got weird looks at Costco.
He did not have. He lost his hair before me. I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
When I was hauling that down there, I still had hair.
Right? You did. Here and here.
You're lucky he's up there.
But to be fair, I've watched my hair falling out since I was 20. It's just been real slow going. I shouldn't complain because I'm 55. It's taken a long time for it to fall out.
So are toll transponders a technical topic?
Toll transponders? What is it?
Down the road and just
Sure.
drive, yeah.
Why? You got information about them?
No, I'd like some. Do you have
What?
toll transponder or you just pay cash? How about you, TJ?
Are you talking
Oh.
about on the highway
Yeah.
up and down here?
Oh, for the toll?
Mexico, yeah.
No, I don't have one.
That is an interesting topic, though, because I remember a few months ago they were saying it was going to be the only way we were going to be able to pay. And I didn't believe it. Somebody had brought in an article, was talking about it, and I'm like, I don't believe that's ever going to be
I
the
don't think
case.
it'll ever happen either.
Huh.
Too many poor Mexicans have to drive up the damn road.
But, later I think about it, and when we were in when we were in France, you could not get on a bus without having already gotten a ticket. And there were places you go to, like a newsstand, or you go. There were these machines outside the bus stops. But if you hadn't already done that, you couldn't get on a bus. And I guess if you were going to implement a system like this, you could have you got to stop at Oxo and fill up your toll card so you can go down the highway to Wyman's.
Well, they got it in the States for
Yeah.
the carpool lane.
Yeah, New York had it.
Okay.
California has it.
Yeah.
And it's not, and you can have the right amount of people in your car, but if you're in that lane without a little goodie,
Forget it.
you get a ticket.
No.
He knows from
No.
experience.
But they didn't charge me. They let me go.
Hey, do you know if they do that in Arizona?
No, the carpool lane is a carpool lane.
I don't know what
Yeah.
priority. What for? I know it's called HOV. I don't know why. What does HOV stand for? Do you know?
High occupancy.
Ah,
Hi.
okay. There
Yeah,
you
it was
go.
when it first started. I'd always, carpool lane. There's enough of us in the car.
Right.
We're fast. I got a ticket mailed to me.
Oh wow. That
As far as paying
Yeah.
tolls, me and my brother use Ready Pass when we're driving up from Virginia to Ohio.
yeah.
His account covers anywhere we go through that's got a Ready Pass. You just get in that lane, drive through, you slow down to like 15 miles an hour. It reads the pass reader and off you go.
Well, they have it. I'm just figuring out.
How to get it.
Like there's two versions. So which one and where? I think so.
You'd think they'd also be able to do it with just an app on your phone, right? Like,
Well, they can do it off your license plate if they got the reader.
oh, and they definitely have the reader.
Well, New York,
Well, yeah, no,
Whether they
Like
use
our
it for
Ready
that or
Pass
not,
ran-
but they definitely have the reader.
in New York, I rented a car and it had that. And I made the mistake of turning it on because I thought it would be easy, but there's a base charge.
Oh,
I only used it once.
well, the last time our Ready Pass went down, there wasn't enough money on it because my brother didn't look. We drove through, it flashed a yellow light instead of the green light, and we just kept driving. And when we got back to Virginia, my brother looked on his account and he just had to pay up the bill.
And that's
was he
nice,
fine,
rather than
or
preloading
just
it,
paid?
No.
it reads it and,
No, he just needed to pay it off.
That's kind of a cool way to deal with it. I mean, as long as you're not being punished for it, you're just being asked to pay for it. I stuck the hair loss in there just because I thought it was fun.
Did you already do Windows 11 thingies?
Oh, the Bitwarden stuff.
No.
just Windows 11 in general.
Just Windows 11.
No, do you have something to bring to Windows 11?
The new update that's not installing on a lot of computers,
Mm.
which I believe AB 5077181.
AV 5077801. Oh, nothing's going in.
I did all the tech stuff they say, and it still didn't install.
181. That's what I.
But I was did more reading, and the people that did get it installed, they fucked up their machine.
Yeah, I typically give the advice not to worry about doing your own up. They're going to install in your computer regardless.
Well, this was one of the cumulative security updates.
Yeah. But Microsoft has really just taken control over your device.
Yeah.
So if you choose not, if you ignore it, it's going to install at some point. At some point, it's going to go into your computer.
Well, that would be better.
Ignoring it. Ignoring it is the solution.
Well, that's what I decided to do.
Yeah, just ignore it.
The only one solution I didn't try was to reinstall Windows again, and I forget it.
You know what we don't have, and I heard some commentator talking about where we're at with Windows right now. Windows is just falling apart right now.
Yeah.
It's absolutely falling apart. And with this commentator, this tech commenter, had a great perspective on it. It's like, it's because of AI. It's because our marketplace thought that AI was going to be the thing that's going to drive all these sales in these tech companies. And Microsoft took their lead team, the people that are smart and doing good work on Windows, and moved them over to AI development, leaving Windows 11 in the hands of the B team, whoever's supposed to just be maintaining this. That, coupled with their newfound reality since Satya Nadella over the last 15 years of we're a cloud-based company, we're not an operating system company. He really has never cared whether they run Windows or not. Windows is just literally a window to their services. But the big change he made when he came into the organization was everything's cloud first. It's if you're going to use Microsoft service, it's going to be available on whatever platform, and you're going to have a subscription model with it. And it has nothing to do with whether you're running Windows or not. He did make comments like Windows first on Windows would be best, but we watched over the last 15 years as that's not necessarily the case. Is that they're more important on what happens on the other side of the web browser. That's where they're really making their money. Many years ago they realized they were losing that whole cash cow of Windows was not coming to fruition any longer. And so that's when they were making changes, trying to chase whatever the new market is. That was the new market, was cloud. There were good people making Windows 10. Windows 10 was a great operating system. Same people started working on Windows 11. But then when AI got hit, that's where they put all their proficient people. And so what we've got in Windows 11 is kind of a group of people that are a bit leaderless, not quite sure what they're supposed to be doing with it. And because cloud services, the way they make money is by selling subscriptions, by doing advertising, by selling product. Those disciplines trickled into the because the Windows team didn't know what they were supposed to be doing next. And so these ideas started passing through the corporation into the Windows development team. And so everything we see is what do you call it? It's the bad parts of this philosophy. it's the repercussions of an entire organization pursuing this path towards profitability. That's what's gummed up Windows, is they've taken that same philosophy and it's just moved into the Windows operating system. There's a good article. I think I've linked to it in our document. I mean, I'm these days in a great mood to just bash on Windows whenever we can, because I'm not happy with the way things have played out. Damn it, the article didn't make it on this page. Where is it? It's not here. Well, next week then.
Fill out with your hair.
Yeah. No, it's not here. I don't know how I ended up doing that. I thought for sure I had it here. But there's a good article that goes into this, and why was I going to reference it in the first place? I don't know. That's what happens when I start talking about stuff that I didn't I don't have the reference for.
So nobody had any trouble installing that?
I haven't heard from anybody having problems with it. But again, I think, especially my customer, the majority of people just ignore the updates. They're not even aware they're going on. And I find out something's not updating. I go to their computer and start, well, okay, let's just do the basic round. And I go around the system. I check the reliability monitor. If you guys aren't aware of that, I recommend that all the time. Go to your start menu and type in reliability, and the reliability monitor will pop up in the search, and click on that. It'll show you how reliable your computer's been over time. So when you're crashing, when you're having trouble installing updates, things of that nature, you'll see that plotted across the timeline. And so that's one of the things that I'll do if somebody says they're having problems with a computer. That's one of the rounds I go through. I go into the reliability monitor and get a feel for what is reliable on this computer. And it gives you a score from 1 to 10. And if your score is up above 5, you're a pretty normal Windows computer. But if your computer is down below 5, then you've got problems that you've been dealing with, that you've been trying to solve, that you can't find. And in that monitor, you may find what it is that's causing that score to be so low. And then I check to see if updates are installing, and sometimes I'll find something stuck like that, and then we'll decide whether it's even anything to worry about, because in the end, they're going to install it in your computer.
Well, there's so many people complaining about it. not installing. I'm just gonna let it wait.
Yeah. Like,
I found an
2 minutes.
error when I ran all the checks, but
2 minutes.
but it still didn't install. So
thank you, Cheryl. I'll open up the next meet here just to have it ready if you guys want to move over to it. Yeah.
I think it's installed, but I haven't had several problems.
What was that?
I said, since I got the new HP, that's years now.
was it 11 or 10?
It's 11.
I mean, this is 11, and I've actually, for all the complaints I hear people suffering from, I've been very happy with this laptop as an 11 laptop. I did. I actually, I mean, like, I'm a technical person, so I check my updates often.
So it's updated all of them?
It was up to date as of last week.
Okay.
But I will check it right now. Let's see what we're at.
Yeah.
I do have a general rule of not installing an update I find at the last minute for Computer Club.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I normally check updates on a Monday, and I'll let them install and watch what happens. But if I didn't find it,
I check on Sundays.
because Tuesdays is Patch
Okay.
Tuesday, so
Yeah.
so I actually try not to check it on a Tuesday.
Of course, updates don't usually come out until
Yeah.
after your meeting's over.
Look at that. You're up to date. Last check was today at 6:30.
Oh, all right.
So this is also an interesting topic, Jim, because this is an HP whatever ProDesk laptop, and you're dealing with another style computer. You may get the update before I do, because they send out updates in these they roll them out.
Yeah.
And so there could be a whole slew of computers that were having so much trouble right from the get-go that they just shut them off for that class of computer. And so when my system gets to it and says, "Are there any updates?" Like, no, not for yours. We've had way too many problems with yours. So you're fine. You don't need any updates. Not today. And I would imagine that's what's going on, is that there's those computers that are in that gray area that they just don't know.
Yeah. I'll have to check next couple of weeks when I get up north.
Yeah.
It's the other Windows 11 machines up there.
I do think that it is probably peace of mind for a normal person not to worry about updates, because Microsoft's made it very clear they own your computer. They're going to update it when they, whether you like it or not. You can't stop them from updating it.
30 days at a crack.
I know that the article that I wish I had put in here is a rundown of the things that people are having problems with Windows and have got them looking at Linux. And now this MacBook Neo has showed up right at a perfect time for people to consider switching over to Macintosh technology. I mean, there is so many people out there that get into a Windows computer because, God forbid, they're going to pay twice as much for a Macintosh. And now we've got a Macintosh that competes right alongside that price point, and it's a much better computer. It's at that price point, it's a much better computer. And
I agree with you 100%, Scott. When I read the reviews of that computer, I mean, whether it has any utility for me or not, whatever, it was just like, oh my God, $600.
yeah, I think he's echoing through Cheryl.
Can you tell me again the name of the computer you guys are talking about? It's a MacBook. It's a MacBook Air.
Neo, like from the Matrix.
Cheapest product. Just go into the Mac store and say, I want the cheapest product you have.
It is being sold for $5.99 starting. It's $4.99 if you're a student. It's 8 gigabytes of RAM, and it's based on the A18 chip from the iPhone 16. It's actually one of the very first mainstream laptops that is powered by a mobile device.
Okay, I think I had two people talking at the same time. I need the title again.
Yes, MacBook Neo. Neo, like from the Matrix. Neo, Neo, Neo.
You're gonna love this, Cheryl. It's a must.
It's an all-aluminum.
Don't concern yourself with specs. The cheapest one, the best deal you can find. It's a must buy.
So last week, I was poo-pooing that it doesn't have a backlit keyboard. And I still think that's a big deal, especially me being over 50. I don't like sitting down and not being able to see the keyboard. It's directly out of mobile technology, doesn't have a touch screen. I find that frustrating. But this is a powerhouse computer. This is so much sophisticated computer at such a cheap price.
Can't you add the touchscreen?
No.
Additional cost?
No, there is no touch screen for a MacBook.
Oh, a
Not a
MacBook.
touch screen. He wants touch. The keys lit up.
Yeah, no.
No, and backlight. There is no backlight to add to it.
Thinking of the Neo.
Yeah. There is an upper tier, comes with twice as much storage space. It's 512 instead of 256. That's the base model is 256. The next one up, if you get the next one up, you get twice the storage and you get a thumbprint reader, so you can use your biometrics.
No, you don't want those frills, Cheryl. You want to focus on the color, and you're going to get great performance, and you're going to move your data off it, and it's going to look fabulous.
So none of what Richard says matters, but I'll tell you what does matter is that this MacBook you can take apart. And if you look at the iFixit video on this MacBook, it is amazing. It reminds me of a framework computer. Very easy to remove. The battery is not glued in. They didn't use glue in it at all. So the battery can be replaced with just like 4 screws. You can have the speakers pull right out. If you were to open this thing up, the maintenance, it is getting this high Fixit reliability rating from iFixit. It's fun just to look at the video because I've never seen a Mac built like this before. It's all modular. None of it's glued. Now, of course, you can't upgrade the RAM because that's the way they do that synchronized. They do the RAM, the SSD, and the CPU all as one unit. But as you get in there, you look at the motherboard, and it looks like it's come out of an iPhone. And most of the space in the computer is taken up by speakers and battery. Were you going to add?
I think they are going to hit the very, very long ball on that one. I'd buy one in a heartbeat if I could think of a single reason to do so, and there isn't in my life, which is sad.
You don't want a green computer?
It's true. Huh?
You don't want a green computer? Or a yellow one? All aluminum build? 16-hour battery life?
This is what I'm talking about, man.
$599. They're great. If I had a kid starting school right now, this would be the computer I would buy for them. This would have satisfied the computer BB took to France. The one she took to France cost more than twice this. This totally would have satisfied.
That's a great yardstick. That's a great yardstick.
Yeah, well, and they've been comparing the processor to the M2s, the M3s, because it's faster than the M1. It's this $600 computer. The M1 is still, I mean, here we are 6 years later. The M1 is still more power than most people need. unless you're a video editor. And that's the caveat with this. The caveat with this computer is if you're a video editor, this may not be where you want to spend your money. You want to take that $600, pair it with another $600, and buy a real video editing platform. But if you're casual or a student or just a normal person that needs a screen to type on every once in a while,
You don't play games.
well, and this is going to perform better on games than you could imagine, but it isn't a gaming rig. It's a
right. You know what? I would say even in the video editing space, I mean, you have to have realistic expectations. But I don't know. It'll run the modern softwares, so then it's just rendering time.
well, it's not doing the onboard LLMs that Apple has been pushing. So you don't have that kind of stuff. Any of the AI, I mean, we already bashed AI all at the beginning of this meeting, but if you did want to do AI on board,
I'm sorry, I didn't consider that because I don't consider that a feature.
Right.
But
right. I know you don't consider that a feature, but that's what to me is a yardstick of how powerful this computer is. And compared to the M3 and higher, this can't do that. So you can't expect it to. The other thing that you miss out on, see, the only reason you feel like you're missing out on anything with this computer is you might have owned a Macintosh before. Because there is that stage view camera that doesn't exist anymore. Where you can put the camera in front of you and it will follow what's happening, follow the action. That's not available on this computer.
Sure.
You wouldn't miss it if you've never used a Macintosh before.
You're talking about $500, man.
Mm-hmm.
So not even the price of what is considered now to be a mid-priced phone. I mean, good Lord, I think that's an incredible amount of computing.
That's an interesting yardstick when you think about it, is we've gotten phones up to a price that's so high that we would be impressed by a laptop that would cost half as much at $600.
I thought you said $500. What happened to $499, man? I want the bargain bin.
Let me see your ID.
Oh, I gotta have a student ID. Okay. Okay.
Go. You need to go troll the schools. Find somebody to buy that laptop for you.
I was going to say that could probably be arranged.
Give me a minute and I'll print one up.
That's right. I'm not a student, but my AI is, and it needs a laptop.
Exactly. Precisely.
No, I the more I've learned about this laptop, the more I think it is the recommendation. We have not had a computer at this price point with this much power. And again, it is an entry-level computer. It is the low-end spec in the Mac world. So it comes with caveats. But all of that, I mean, if you've never had a Macintosh before, you're not going to be missing anything. It's
Windows 11 users locked out of their own boot drive on Samsung PCs due to
It wasn't Bitwarden, was it? Oh, I did put an article here for the Mac Neo. It's from Tom's Guide. I'm looking at Jim. I'm sure you've seen Tom's Guide. Have you seen Tom's Guide? Tom's Guide. Tom's Guide has a good reputation for evaluating hardware and doing reviews, and they have benchmarked the MacBook Neo against some budget Windows laptops around the same class. And so if you want to see where it's performing exceptionally well against I am bleeding over somebody's Oh, it's Cheryl, I think I'm across your speakers.
Where did you put the link?
I'm sorry?
Did you say you shared the link
No, I don't. What link?
to the article about the Neo?
Oh, it's in our document.
Oh, it's in the document? Okay,
Yeah,
sorry,
right
sorry,
here.
sorry. I thought you meant it was in
Tom's
the
guide.
message.
Cheryl, are you using external speakers? For some reason, I'm listening to myself talk back to me.
I'm using my iPad speaker.
That's weird. Normally, iPads, iPhones, normally devices will cancel out the incoming source through your microphone. But in this case, it's not. Yeah, so if you want to get a good impression of how this compares to Windows computers around the same price point, but I think the fixability of this, the fixability score is so high on this compared to previous Mac products, but just products in general. And that aluminum build, I mean, it's not going to be bending, it's not going to be cracking or creasing or making strange sounds as you that plastic does. It's not going to get warped in that respect.
Never noticed that.
It's oh yeah, I can pick this up. It'll creak.
Yours probably travels more than that.
Well, it's a laptop. That's what it's supposed to do.
I'm just curious, whatever the number is, but how long is the warranty?
Well, you know, it's interesting you ask that because the way Apple does warranties is through Apple Care. So of course it's got 90 days out of the shop, a year manufacturers, and then you can buy more warranty on top of that.
Okay.
I heard the price for this is $49 a year. That's not a lot at all. No, it's very common for a Mac product to be paying $149 a year for their, and you might buy 3 to 5 years because they've given you a discounted price for doing it all at once. Sure. Thank you, Jonathan.
So for like $100, you could extend that to 3-year kind of thing?
Yeah, that's the way I understand it.
Okay. That's not terrible.
No, that I would totally pay that. Especially if I was handing it to a 15-year-old. I would totally pay that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I think I'm paying $2.30 a
No,
month.
I'm not trying to sell it. I'm just impressed. I'm just impressed with it. Aren't you impressed with it? There's so much power in this little package.
No.
Okay. Well,
I think I'm paying $2.30 a month for my iPad that
your Apple Care?
my Apple Care. It's on my iPad that I paid more than the Neo cost.
You're paying $2 a month?
$2.30.
And so that's a monthly, and they'll replace the screen if it breaks. And
well, right now I need to take it in and get the battery replaced. I started with 100% talking to you, and I'm down to 21%.
Oh, all right. Well, that's the other thing that's weird about the Apple Care is that each product may have its own stipulations of what it covers. How many battery replacements you can have, or how many screen replacements per period of time. So you do want to have an idea of how that works.
I have a comment. Fred, you mentioned your battery. Since the last, well, there have been a bunch of upgrades. Some of them have failed, some of them have worked on my phone and my iPad. And my batteries are just crap. My phone, when we're traveling, I turn off the Wi-Fi, I turn off the cell data because it's always looking for stuff. And when we were in the Copper Canyon, there was nothing to find. So I turned that off, but I didn't even have power for my camera 3 hours down the road. And I tried to turn off everything that was on it. The other thing is, I do not have a part in my general or my about that tells me my battery health.
Yeah, I know.
I know. And they took it away.
Cheryl, I'm really sorry. There's something going on with your audio on your other end. You're fading in and out. So I don't know if Fred's catching it, but over on our end, we're just hearing like every third word disappears.
I hear it here too.
You're having the same experience, Fred? Do you have a different mic or hearing aids or something hooked up to your iPad?
Me, I have hearing aids.
I'm actually talking to Cheryl, but yeah.
Okay, I turned it off of my hearing aids. That's the other thing that, just a minute. Okay, I put it into my hearing aids. I don't know if that's better now.
Well, one of the problems was I was talking across the speakers and I don't hear myself anymore talking. So that resolves that issue. Are you,
Okay, but
go ahead and ask your question. Go ahead and talk again. Talk again.
okay, I'm trying to talk, but the reason why I had it on speaker instead of hearing aids is the last update on my iPad changed the way my hearing aids hook up to my iPad.
I think it
used to
may
be
have changed
through-
more than that.
Yeah, it's been really crappy. It's now a Bluetooth connection where my hearing aids are supposed to go through accessibility hearing devices. Only now with the new update, the hearing devices button only works with Apple products. So I'm having a heck of a time with my iPad with my hearing aids.
The first thing I would do is go and check out your hearing aids manufacturer and see if they've released a software for your hearing aids. Because typically when Apple does something like that, you'll have third parties flow into that space. They've left a space open by doing that. They're no longer covering these third parties. And so if your manufacturer is decent, they may have a statement saying we've got a program on the way or we've just updated our application to resolve this issue. But I would look for something like that from the manufacturer. Also,
I will update my Jabra, Jabra, bought through Costco.
Jabra,
But, yeah, I will update my app and see if that helps.
And there is something going on, even on your hearing aids. You are fading in and out, and the quality of your audio is just as bad with the hearing aids or on just there's something with the iPad. The iPad is doing something now that is affecting your audio quality. If
My Linux.
you can't put that on an iPad. But if it was me, if I was trying to resolve that problem, first I'd do a lot of testing. Like I would call Bill a couple of times and verify what it is you're trying to fix. And then I think I would back it up and format it fresh and set it up again. Because your hardware isn't working the way it's supposed to.
Oh,
See, guys. These guys are out of
Maybe
here.
maybe I should just toss the iPad and my HP Windows machine and buy a new Neo.
Knowing both those devices, that might not be a bad idea. I think it would be hard to go wrong if you need a laptop, it would be hard to go wrong with this new MacBook Neo. We really have not had this kind of power available to us at this price.
Color do you like, Cheryl?
Comes in 4 colors. Colors
What
of the
color
rainbow.
so far? Just first reaction.
Turquoise.
Turquoise. Very nice.
You have a blue one. Yes, Jim. There's something going on with your audio too. You're not muted. I don't see a mute, but we can't hear you. No.
Can't hear you, Mr. Cunningham. Total bummer.
We're looking forward to your insight.
Mr. Cunningham, do you have your speaker on? Or your microphone?
It's not muted. When somebody's muted, I get a little mute. You can see it on my screen. I get a little mute icon, a microphone cutoff icon. Jim does not have a microphone cutoff icon. As far as I'm concerned, it looks like he could talk. But when he talks, we're not hearing anything. Oh, what's
Is
that?
this
Oh, there you go.
things at all?
Oh, wait.
Did that change anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Are you talking now?
Now I am.
Okay. Yeah, we're hearing
Okay.
you.
Yes,
Is that an
sir.
improvement?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the mic on that is turned off or broken. Have you got a mic button on those headsets? Maybe you have a mic button on those headsets.
No, it was just the
Oh, it's just headsets.
little earbuds. So I'm not sure what was happening there. But anyway, what I was going to ask is before we get off, last week we had talked about Streamio and you opened it up and said, not sure what's going on here. Let me check this out. Did you ever have a chance to look at that?
Yes, but I'm disappointed because what this means is you have not read my document.
You're right.
I did. I did check it out. And I'm glad we waited.
Okay, and it's
at the
in
top
the
of this, Torrentino for Jim. Here is the correct address, and I will copy it and stick it in our chat so that you can get it immediately.
Okay, well, I've got your document open. I just missed it.
Okay, so what you want to do is you want to go to a device that has Streamio on it, like your laptop.
Right.
And then you want to go to this link. This one right here.
Tarantino, Jim. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Come on, open up. Why won't you open? Screw you. I'll just do it manually. I'll just paste it in here. And this is the kind of thing you should be seeing. And you can tell from the icon that the page we were looking at before is a deceptive page. Now, I don't think it was malicious, but I do think it's intentionally deceptive. This is what you want right here, and you could be good to go without dealing with any of this. You could just hit the install button, and you'd be ready to go. There are some configurations to this plugin you can do. Like I like to do things like exclude unknown sources, exclude cam. You know, that's when they've got a camera in a movie theater. So yeah. I like to exclude that kind of stuff. And because my bandwidth is limited a lot of the times, I also, where is it? Oh, there was, maybe they don't have it here anymore. Here, it's right here. Resolutions. So I would exclude 4Ks, 3Ds, Dolby Vision. These are all extras that I never care about. I don't own audio video equipment. Well, actually, that one I would keep. I don't own audio video equipment that could take advantage of these things. And so why would I want them in my search results? And so everything there that's got a check mark in it is something that I don't want to result in.
Right.
And then you hit install, and it takes you over to your Streamio program, and it shows you a install button that you just click, and then the plugin is in your Streamio. I want to take a moment, though, and go back to that site we were looking at last week. Torrentios.org. This looks like the right thing, doesn't it? But what this is, I think this is trying to be your full solution. I do not think it's related to the other developer, but they're riding on the backs of the other developer. And I think what this is, I haven't tried to use it yet because I'm just so caught off guard by it. But I think what this is a peer-to-peer download, torrenting software similar to Streamio, may even be based on Streamio. It seems like I did see some screenshots of it and thought it looked very much like Streamio. But it is their own thing. It is not Streamio. So it's like riding on the backs of, where did it go? Riding on the backs of two different technologies that have worked together but developed independently. Somebody has taken both those technologies and put them together into one thing, and they're trying to entice you into it by appearing to be one of those two technologies, but isn't.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it may be in the long run, it may be completely legitimate, at least as legitimate as Streamio. It could be, but at this surface level investigation, we know what works and we know what's questionable, and right now I would consider that questionable.
Gotcha.
So that link will get you to where you want to go with Streamio.
Jim, what platform, what computer are you trying to put your Streamio on, or Streamio?
Well, it could be either a Mac desktop or a Windows desktop because they both work fine. It could also be a Fire Stick or a Google TV because those work fine. What it cannot be is an iPhone or an iPad. However, what has changed recently, I use the plugin that Jim's trying to plug in. The other day, I went to go check Streamio on my iPhone, and it shows the results of the plugin and has a warning message saying this isn't authorized for viewing and you can't get it to stream on your device. Before, it just wouldn't do anything. You could put Streamio on, it would give you the catalog of movies that are out there and let you read synopsis, but that was about as far as you could go with it. I mean, well, that's not entirely true. They do have, like, you could open up Netflix from it, but why wouldn't you just be in Netflix? You could open up Apple TV from it, but why wouldn't you just be using Apple TV? And so it was pretty worthless for what we were doing on an Apple device. At the very least now, on an Apple device, outside of a Macintosh desktop. A Macintosh desktop is able to run Streamio in its full colors the way you want it. It's the iDevices that won't do it. It's the mobile devices, the iPad, the iPhones that won't let you do it. But at least now it says outright, this cannot be used on these devices. It violates something. The program itself doesn't violate anything. It's the plugin that does. And they're able to be in the App Store on the iPhones and the iPads because they don't include the plugin as available in the software. You have to go to the plugin outside the software. That's what prompts this whole discussion of what link do I use to get it into Streamio. We have come almost to the end. Gosh, it looks like TJ walked out of here too. I'm all by myself in Tequila's. So
we have our lunch ready, so we're going to go. But I just wanted to say two things before I go.
Okay.
The temperature on American scale is 87 degrees in Alamos today.
Woo!
I see San Carlos is 76 and Longmont is 69. So, just to give you a little reference of the three locations. And Fred, I'm not sure where you are or what the temperature is there. But
hey, Cheryl, you know what you should do when it's that hot around here? I like to go to the beach.
Well, it's an hour and a half drive to the beach, but I do have a cold pool at the back here. I could do a cold plunge if I really wanted to.
That sounds awesome.
But we have our outdoor air conditioning, otherwise known as a ceiling fan, going outside here. The other thing I wanted to tell you was I've been watching Person of Interest. This is technology related. It's a series where they're using AI to track down possible terrorists. Only now they're using it for other reasons.
Yeah, actually, that's a great series. It's been around for a long time.
I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I just found it and I'm enjoying it.
What I remember at the time it came out, it seemed impossible fantasy. And I bet watching it now, you'd be like, oh yeah, this is what's going on.
Person of interest.
I'm in Costa Rica and it's 81 degrees.
Nice.
Oh, I watched a couple of programs on YouTube on the drones and they were with the Ukrainians, and they were extremely interesting. They're talking about the Russians have kamikaze drones and they have spy drones, and they talk about how they get rid of them and how they intercept them. It was very interesting if anybody's interested.
Certainly. Can you pass us some links or titles, and I'll make sure they get put into one of our documents so people can see them. I'd be interested.
I'll see it. I'll see if I can find them again.
The whole drone question right now with this, with the Strait and Iran and everything going on, it's just all very interesting. This idea that Ukraine could help the United States with their drone program is really interesting. I for one would be happy if they would just have more money in the government by dropping so much Department of Defense budget, and they could do that by replacing a lot of stuff with drones. Maybe if they replaced bombers with drones, we'd have enough for single-payer health care.
They could start at the top and replace that.
Dream on.
I can dream.
Me too.
Like I said, they could start at the top and replace that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, are there any recommendations out there that you'd like to get on my list? This is the time to mention them. I leave stuff on this list that I think people ought to go back and look at. I've got TJ's books on there still if you're interested in what he's written. I've got some apps down there that are valuable at any time. So if the movies and shows, I tend to wipe them out from time to time, just so that we've got a clean list. But websites like the expat newsletter, things like that, I tend to leave in the list. So whatever version that you're looking at, those links are still there. I do not come with any recommendations today, except to be careful when you're working on your washer. Do not inhale a lot of gas.
I
hard to
found
breathe.
on YouTube, Fred mentioned YouTube, and I found on YouTube the 2026 Follies from San Carlos. So for those of us that weren't there to watch Yuya and other people, it is on YouTube.
Cheryl, you broke up. What was it you're saying?
YouTube has the 2026 San Carlos Follies.
Really? No kidding. I'll go look for it. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Yes, that means you. Please silence your phones. It's time to sit back, relax,
God, I can't hear
and be
anything from
prepared
you.
to be dazzled. And probably
I
laugh
didn't
your
hear
butt
anything
off.
from him either for a while.
It's the third annual Seat of the Panelordes production, the 2026 San Carlos Follies.
This is awesome, though. Our document.
Haha, somebody didn't charge his batteries.
Oh, I did. I've just been talking to you too long. We're only good for about an hour. YouTube.
Well, that is too cool.
Realizing I am renaming this. All right. Dun, dun,
Fabulous.
And I got nothing else. We've exhausted, I think, all my topics. Didn't I exhaust all of them? We got the hair. Oh, I keep meaning to mention this suite of software called Office, Europe Office, all built on open source. The reason I find it interesting is because it is in direct contrast to what Microsoft has done. Microsoft has violated what are they calling it? Data sovereignty for these countries, and the way Microsoft has been handling or is planning on handling their data is in violation to their security practices. And so somebody is seeing this as a hole that can be filled.
It's in violation of their law.
Yeah, exactly. And so they've seen this as an opportunity, and they have produced a cloud service for Europe, specifically marketed to Europe, out of all open source software that they've even got these shim programs in place so that governments and corporations can switch over to this with minimal recognition. As far as you're concerned, you may still be using OneDrive. The word processor pops up and it may feel like Word, and similar in the way that like OpenOffice or LibreOffice feels. But the way they've done it is to just hook right in to those pieces that Microsoft used to hook into. This is horrible for Microsoft if this trend continues, because that's their bread and butter. The cloud services are where they're making all their money. If corporations and governments are not trusting Microsoft with their data, then they're going to lose the main thing that drives that company.
Yeah, but I don't think this is a recoverable situation. I think it's just broken. It ain't going to get fixed.
You're talking about is from Microsoft?
Yeah, I think that governments like the government of Germany and the government of France and, minor countries like that have decided that, they don't want their data, and they don't want the data in private corporations that are that are interfacing with the government to be on somebody's private OS. That's a fundamental decision. So I actually don't think there's anything Microsoft can do about it at this point. I think it's broken. They're walking away. If that takes 3 years, 5 years, 14.2 years, who cares?
Well,
it's a direction of movement.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, I don't know about walking away. I don't think of Microsoft as walking away from anything.
No, Germany's walking away. Microsoft running behind them.
Though, is that they're going to be left in a state where they're going to have to compete once again for that same customer, and they're in a worse position. As soon as they've gotten themselves into a different broker of these services and it satisfies their security and privacy laws, then it's a tough thing to sell to go back to Microsoft. What they offer.
Exactly.
So Microsoft has had this dominant position because they were the first ones there, and they got in everybody's computer was running Windows. It was a natural progression to cloud services off of Windows. But they have done such a lousy job of stewarding these people's data, these countries' data, that they've been incentivized to find alternatives to Microsoft. And we've talked about that before.
In less well-off countries, they don't want to pay these seat costs.
Well,
I mean,
one of the things that's interesting about this play, this article about this European suite that's supposed to be able to interchange from Microsoft's cloud, is that they're charging about the same amount of money. They are so confident in the security disaster that Microsoft has proposed to Europe that they feel confident they can charge the same amount of money, and there's a market for it.
Interesting.
Hey, with that, why don't we get out of here? We'll call this an end. We're at, Jesus, this thing's been running for 2 hours. That's why my microphone died.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for showing up, Jim. Thanks for being here, Cheryl, Fred. Was Chester with us? I feel like we've lost him. Sid, thank you for being here. Richard, thanks for being here.
Chester didn't come to the second meeting.
Didn't he? I don't think I even got a chance to
It's too far to travel.
You guys have an awesome day, and until next Tuesday, tech on. Adios, Cindy.
Hey, I got a quick question. Well, it's just us. I got some fire stick help I need with later, whenever you get a chance.
Okay, all right. Let me get off of this YouTube stream, and we'll talk later this afternoon.
All right, I'll talk to you later, man. Take care.
Buddy, bye. All right, we did it. That was this week's Computer Club. As always, anybody is welcome to join us. If you found us on YouTube, you can join us every Tuesday at 10 Mountain Standard Time. No daylight savings. We don't do any of that. It's always the same time for us. It may be changing. Check that out. Check out our website at scclub.org. There we basically just announce these meetings and have links to the YouTubes. But hey, this is if you want to participate, you're welcome to get on my mailing list, and I will send you the document that we continually refer to. You can find the meet codes on our website, but if you're interested in the meat of the meeting, the essence of the meeting, then you would probably want a copy for access. This document that I am perpetually sharing with people. Document here. I call it the document of possible topics, and it's what we use as a guide. And we meet here in Tequila. So if you're in San Carlos on a computer club meeting, please come on down, have breakfast with us. Tequila's has great breakfast. Nice place to be. We'll meet in person. If you have been coming to these meetings, bring a friend, because it's been pretty light the last couple. TJ is bringing his dog with him, who has no opinion on my tech. Other than that, we'll see you next week. Until then, tech on. Adios.